So another really important pre-reading skill that all children should practice is rhyming and syllables. Now, this can be learned right along with learning the sounds and learning the beginning, middle, and ending sounds. So while you're practicing beginning sounds, you can go right into practicing rhyming, practicing syllables, and it's something that you do all together. So even if they don't know middle and ending sounds, that doesn't matter. You're working on sounds for the letters, what the letter sounds are. You're working on the beginning or the middle or the ending, one of them or all of them, depending on where they're at. You're working on rhyming and you're working on syllables. So let me talk to you about rhyming first. Rhyming it's controversial. Some people say it has no bearing on learning how to read, but there are others who say it is very important. And the reason I believe it's important is because it teaches children to recognize patterns. And there's a lot of patterns when it comes to learning how to read. And if you look at most reading curriculum, they'll teach them mat, one of the very first sounds, at, mat, cat, fat, rat, sat. Well, they pick up, obviously, there is a pattern there. All of those words rhyme. So that is true with most curriculums you're going to find, and it's super helpful for them. So they're not struggling for every single word. They find a pattern, and you know what they're focusing on? That beginning sound. When they do that, they're really looking at that beginning sound, mat. They already know the ending sound is at, so they don't have to focus on all three, which is super helpful when they're first learning how to read. So they say mat, then cat, and as soon as they get that beginning sound, they're off running. Then they learn, I don't know what they teach next, bag, maybe AG, but bag, sag, wag, tag, all of those rhyme. Well, if they're gonna do that when they're learning how to read, it's super helpful to learn how to recognize it with their ear first. Again, ear training. So how we do that is you just say, little Johnny, what rhymes with fat? Fat. They might not know in the beginning. They might not even know what the word rhyming means. So you model it for them. Always model. Always show what you want. Give them many examples. Don't think that that's cheating for them. That's showing them what to do. So you say fat, cat, mat. What else sounds like fat, sat, cat? Help them if they don't know. Tell them. Because the truth is, tomorrow, when you say to them, what rhymes with mat? They might remember from yesterday. And you know what? It might take you 5 days of doing that. Eventually, they start getting the connection. So don't think, well, I already told them the answer. Of course, they're going to remember. Well, we want them, actually, to remember what you told them. Think about it this way. When you teach your children to talk, you don't sit there and no, you tell them what to say. Say mama, say dada, and they copy you, mama, dada, and you praise them. Yay, they did it, right? You teach them how to talk. You say these words over and over and over again. And when you say them, they start repeating them. And the truth is the same is true in teaching language arts. You tell them, you give them the words. They start repeating them. It might take 1 day, it might take 5, it might take a month. Who knows how long it will take, depending on your child and their learning styles. But eventually, they'll start repeating you. So don't be afraid to give them the answer on these things. It's like having a cup and you're filling their cup full of language. Lots of language. Don't expect them to reach into a cup that they've never filled before and pull out rhyming words when they have no clue about them. Fill their cup and then watch them in the days ahead pull them out and begin to use them themselves. So you do things like mat, fat, rat, sat, cat, pig, wig, rig, any rhyming words. You start it off for them, you model it, you let them find as many words as they can, you move on to the next. Time frame. Time frame is about 1 to 2 minutes on rhyming. It's fun, it's fast. Another way to teach rhyming is also to read it. There's lots of rhyming words or rhyming books out there for you to read, such as Mother Goose nursery rhymes. Those are famous. They have lots of rhymes in them, and they're really good language practice for language and hearing it and hearing the rhyming. There's all of the Dr. Seuss. Lots of Dr. Seuss is rhyming. It's funny. It's engaging. So find yourself some good rhyming books to read, but also talk with them and have that practice back and forth. So then the next one is syllables, and I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this one, but syllables is also important, and here's why. When they begin to read, now granted in kindergarten, it's only going to be one syllable words: cat, pig, dog, the, with. However, the bigger the words, the more they're going to be breaking them apart. Okay, alligator. Well, you have to be able to break apart alligator in order to sound it out, especially when it's a new word. Lots of words, when they're beginning to sound out bigger words, they have to break them apart. So learning to recognize syllables is super helpful. So first you start with one syllable words and you model it for them. Again, always model. So if I say, how many syllables, let's clap it out. How many syllables is in dog? Dog, and I show them. And then I contrast it with one that has two syllables. How about table? Table. Do it with me. And they do it with you. Table. Oh, nice job. Okay. So then you move on. Go back to a one. How about big? Do we say b-ig or do we say big? Big. And the truth is, a lot of times, kiddos will say to you, pig is two. Pig. So then, instead of telling them, no, you got it wrong, ask them, do we say pig or do we say pig? If they don't know, you tell them, we say pig. Pig. And you model that for them. And then again, you go to another one. Let me think of a two-syllable picnic. Picnic, right? It's two syllables. So you ask them, how do you clap out picnic for me? And if they go picnic, then say, do I say, let's go on a picnic today? Or do I say, let's go on a picnic? And if they say picnic, so say, all right, let's clap that. Picnic. And you clap it together, right? You see that? So don't tell them they're wrong. Ask them the difference between the two. Do we say this or do we say this? And when they pick, if they pick the right one, then you say, all right, let's do that together. Picnic. And if they say the wrong one, then show them the right. Well, we don't say picnic. I say, let's go for a picnic. Don't make a big deal of it being wrong. Show them the right. So that's how we practice syllables. You practice one syllable, two syllables, the difference. When they're pretty good with those, add a third syllable, add a fourth: alligator, hippopotamus, library, lots of different words out there. Practice them until they can clap them just like that. And that's how we do syllables and rhyming.